So what I got from the book When Time is Short by Timothy Beale was that in the 80s, scientists made predictions of the greenhouse effects that would happen in a couple of years. But the 90s, scientists confirmed those predictions. There weren't any more hypotheses made, instead they confirmed it. And the chapter goes in how society has delayed to slow down or reduce damage that has been done by not producing any proactive legislation, even when governments had the data and had the predictions at hand. Then chapter 2 goes into the religious aspects of ecological damage. It goes by saying that humanity lost grace or divinity and also lost control of nature. And in order to regain that godliness, we must take control or subjugate nature. This idea and mentality is what led for Western society to see Native Americans and tribes as uncivilized because they only took what they needed from nature. Meanwhile, the Western man saw that they are not taking advantage of the land's resources, and by doing so, they're disobeying God's orders. And the next two ideas I'm about to bring up are what interested me the most in the book. The first one being human denial. So Beale expresses that one of the reasons why we do not see an end to our consequences, to our actions, and why we don't have any proactive action to slow down the damage that is being done is because we do not see the end of our species in the earth. So we always imagine a future in which humans are involved. However, we are a finite existence. Like we've seen, we are like other living beings on earth. Some go extinct, some die out, but we see ourselves above it. We think we are above all of nature. So that is what stops us from creating or accepting the truth that we have created so much damage to the earth that maybe it is too late to fix things. And so what Beale then suggests is that we take a palliative care. So palliative care in the healthcare field is when a patient that has a disease, a comorbidity that does not have a cure, then instead decides to focus on the quality of life. We are focusing more on relieving pain and focusing on the quality instead of quantity of how many years we can prolong their life. So if it is already too late to fix things, then we should look at what will happen now then. So it is not saying that there is no other solution or that we should stop looking for solutions, but to one, accept grief, accept what we have done and what our future looks like, but also, are people gonna make amends? Are people going to fix relationships or live our lives to our fullest? And what will that imply instead of denying the effects we've done, the damage we've done? So that leads me to the quotes that stood out for me. So the first one being, I believe that there is something very deeply religious that drives this inability to see and understand our present and future reality, human exceptionalism. So we've seen throughout the course that human exceptionalism is the belief that humans are above the law, the changes of nature. We are not like the rest of the living beings in earth. We are above them, we can control it. What I found interesting is that there is a religious drive behind this idea, because in my mind we always categorize, we always put things in lists. So everything is on like the best movies, the top 10 books, the best actors. So it makes sense that we also put our ecosystem in layers and rankings, and that we turn up on top of it. So that's what really stood out for me, the religious connotation that there is, even I guess at this point unconsciously. The next point is, if time is short, what is most important to you? It is a very direct quote to the reader that makes you wonder, what would you do if you know truly and understand that your time here is limited. I'm more curious about the like societal implications, like how will society act? Would people be more individualistic? Would they prioritize their own lives? Or would people try to amend broken relationships, make new ones, try to fix their past mistakes? And then the last quote is, social justice and human well being are inextricably bound up with ecological and cosmological well being. Human thriving and cosmic thriving resonate with and reflect one another. This is the concept that I had the hardest time understanding, how social justice and ecological well being are connected, because they seem so different. One is humans and one is nature. But then the book goes about saying that, in I believe a passage in that says that the rich have gotten richer and only think about themselves and have oppressed the minorities, then earth has become dark, nothing is thriving or growing. And then it starts to make more sense that by our actions we are only focusing on what makes us richer, and that is by oppressing other beings, and that also includes nature. So if we are only looking to monetize more items, then those items have to come from some place, nature. And so the focus on being the best monetization then results on ecological degradation. What stood out for me most in the book, or I guess what I'm taking out from the book, is that, or I, is that time maybe is too short. Like, we don't have enough time to fix everything, and we expect to science our way out of it, or researchers or technology, we can somehow get away from our consequences. But science and research take time, and we keep on creating more damage and irreversible actions to nature. So I would be curious to see how people will react to once they accept that we are finite. Even as a species, we are finite. And what will societies do, react, in the sense that will individualistic societies prioritize even more individualistic values, or will people try to make amends? People, societies, cultures, even countries, like what would that look in a future? Like, I would be interested to see that in the book.